making headlines. The president sends a message extending his felicitations to new president of Iran, Dr. Pezeshkian. The president appoints Ahmad Munawwar as the MMA governor. And the parliament deputy speaker praises the president for tackling major unresolved issues in the Maldives that previous presidents could not address. Welcome to the English News. I'm your host Malak Ahmed Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu sends a message of condolence to Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, following the landslides in Kerala state. In his message, President Dr. Muizzu expressed profound sorrow upon learning of the landslides in Wayanad district that took the lives of over 100 and injured many more. He described the extensive loss of lives, livelihoods, and devastation caused by this disaster as an unimaginable tragedy. Additionally, President Dr. Muizzu offered condolences on behalf of the government and the citizens of the Maldives. He also expressed hope that the search and rescue efforts at the site will be able to operate quickly and successfully. In conclusion, President Dr. Muizzu also wished fortitude to the families of the victims, their loved ones, and everyone affected in overcoming the painful consequences of this unfortunate catastrophe. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu sends a message extending his felicitations to new President of Iran, Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian. In his message, President Dr. Muizzu conveyed well wishes and felicitations to President Dr. Pezeshkian following his inauguration as the 9th President of Iran. President Muizzu noted that his election win signifies the confidence and faith that the citizens of Iran have placed in the future of Iran under his able and visionary leadership. President Muizzu also conveyed hope to enhance the bilateral relations between the Maldives and Iran. He further conveyed personal best wishes for the good health and well-being of the Iranian president and for peace and progress for the citizens of Iran. Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif attended the swearing-in ceremony of Pezeshkian as the President of Iran. He attended the ceremony as the special envoy of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu appoints Ahmad Munawwar as the governor of the Maldives Monetary Authority, MMA. The appointment was made under the authority granted to the President in accordance with Section 6.3 of the Maldives Monetary Authority Act. The ceremony to present the letter of appointment was held at the President's office. Following the presentation, President Dr. Muizzu and the newly appointed governor of MMA held a meeting to discuss the country's economic situation. The President encouraged the governor to work closely with other financial institutions. At the meeting, Munawwar expressed his complete support for the government's efforts to stimulate the country's economy. The nomination of Munawwar for the position was given with the unanimous votes of 78 parliamentarians after he was interviewed by the Public Accounts Committee. Munawwar scored an average of 94.73 marks in the interview, hence gaining the approval of the committee, who saw him capable of serving as the MMA governor. Munawwar served as the advisor to the Minister of Finance in the current administration and had served MMA from 1999 to 2013 at various positions. He also served as the State Minister of Finance from 2014 to 2016 and the Finance Minister from 2016 to 2018. Speaking at the committee, Munawwar revealed his vision of strengthening the financial sector of the nation, ensuring it is the top in the field at a regional level during his tenure. He also disclosed his ambitious goal of increasing the productivity of the financial sector. Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Ahmad Nazim, praises President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu for tackling major unresolved issues in the Maldives that previous presidents could not address. Speaking at a rally held at the Party Hall of the People's National Congress (PNC), Deputy Speaker Nazim highlighted that President Muizzu's recent address on Independence Day assured him of his commitment to reform in the country. He also emphasized that the president is undertaking numerous reforms, including addressing the issue of foreigners, which previous governments did not dare to tackle. Additionally, Deputy Speaker Nazim said the government is working on improving conditions by amending laws through Parliament. He also noted that President Muizzu is making changes to the ministries to simplify processes for citizens. Furthermore, Deputy Speaker Nazim, who is also a member of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee, outlined the government's economic reform program aimed at reducing expenditure and increasing revenue without affecting citizens. He assured that people will continue to receive services efficiently and that the most needy will be prioritized when the budget is passed next year. He also said that the government needs time to implement these reforms and expressed confidence in the President's ability to meet public expectations. The Parliament approves the appointment of Ismail Habib as a member of the Human Rights Commission of the Maldives, HRCM. The motion passed with 74 votes in favor and 3 against. His appointment follows the resignation of Dr. Adham Abdullah in October 2023. President Dr. Moiso had submitted a list of candidates for the HRCM post, ranking them in order of priority, with Habib's name forwarded to Parliament for approval. The Committee on Human Rights and Gender unanimously approved Habib's nomination. Habib, nominated by President Dr. Moiso, has over 21 years of experience with the Elections Commission of the Maldives, ECM, serving both as a member and the Vice President. He left from the ECM on March 13th after completing 2 terms. The HRCM consists of 5 members in total. Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shyam announces that the Maldives will halt the import of fish at low duty rates. Speaking to PSMNEWS, Minister Shyam addressed the issue of fish imports at low duty, revealing that the government is taking steps to resolve the issue. As such, he emphasized that the government does not intend to allow fish to enter the country at low prices and said that the cabinet has already discussed the matter. Additionally, Minister Shyam highlighted the need for changes in the fishery sector. He noted a decline in the fish processing capacity of the Maldives, resulting in fish being exported at low prices. He also said that the government's goal is to triple the fish processing capacity, enabling the processing of 95% of the fish currently caught in the Maldives. Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy Tariq Ibrahim announces plans to increase the number of rangers responsible for marine protected areas in the Maldives. He made the announcement during a special event commemorating World Rangers Day. Speaking at the event, Minister Tariq highlighted that only a few number of rangers are protecting the large protected areas of the Maldives. He also emphasized the crucial role these rangers play, noting their dedication and hard work. Additionally, Minister Tariq pointed out that rangers spend extensive hours maintaining the protected areas and play a significant role in promoting tourism by ensuring that the natural beauty of the Maldives can be enjoyed by tourists without causing harm. He committed to training more rangers to enhance the management of these areas. He also said that efforts are underway to protect more areas in the future. Currently, the Maldives has over 90 protected areas, with 6 managed under specific plans. These areas include Vandu in Ra Atoll, the Biosphere Reserve in Ba Atoll, Gadu in Lam Atoll, Formula Biosphere Reserve, and Addu Biosphere Reserve. Some of these are designated as UNESCO Biosphere Reserves. World Rangers Day is celebrated annually on July 31st, with this year's theme being 30 into 30. The Maldives Zakat House discloses that it provided assistance to 648 individuals from the Zakat Fund over the past 6 months, with a total expenditure of USD 1.02 million. The majority of the financial assistance was allocated for medical treatment. Specifically, $966,277 was spent on medical care, including $110,246 for cancer treatment, $17,509 for heart operations, $11,673 for kidney disease treatments, and $30,479 for brain surgeries. Additionally, the fund covered $648,508 for bone marrow transplants, $12,970 for other transplants, $10,376 for skin burn treatments, and $6,485 for pneumonia. Furthermore, the Zakat House provided funds of $1,942 as essential aid for vulnerable groups and $31,430 for individuals with special needs. This includes aid provided to teach sign language courses as well. Despite the collection and distribution of zakat was previously done by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs, it is now the responsibility of the Maldives Zakat House. The Zakat House was established with the recommendation of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu and was inaugurated in January 2024. The Maldives and India engage in discussions to enhance tourist arrivals from India and to strengthen bilateral relations. The discussions were held between the Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal, India's Minister of Civil Aviation Shri Kincharapu Ramohan Naidu, and Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, the Minister of Culture and Minister of Tourism of India. The meetings were held during Minister Faisal's official visit to India. In an interview with PSMNEWS, Minister Faisal revealed that the primary focus of the discussions was to boost tourist arrivals to the Maldives and to attract investments to further develop the tourism sector. The discussions also covered providing training and scholarships to tourism-related fields and expanding flight operations by introducing more airlines from India. Additionally, the minister advocated for increasing the frequency of scheduled flights by existing airlines operating between the Maldives and India. The Welcome India Roadshow commenced in New Delhi on July 30th and will continue in Mumbai on August 1st, concluding in Bangalore on August 3rd. The event is designed to enhance the Maldives' profile as a premier vacation destination for Indian travelers through activities in these three major cities. The high-profile event will gather key industry stakeholders from both nations, offering a platform to foster new partnerships, strengthen existing relationships, and showcase the exceptional beauty and diversity of the Maldives. The roadshow has seen participation from 150 tourism-related organizations. Minister Faisal expressed optimism about the anticipated increase in Indian tourists, attributing it to the government's ongoing promotional efforts. China's Yemen Airlines launches scheduled flights operations to the Maldives. The first flight from the airline arrived at Velana International Airport, VIA, on July 30th. Speaking on the start of scheduled flights, Managing Director of Maldives Airports Company Limited MACL Ibrahim Sharif Mohammed noted that Yemen Airlines had previously been operating charter flights since February. He highlighted that the initiation of scheduled flights represents a significant advancement in efforts to boost international flight movements to the Maldives. He also said that the move would assist in achieving the government's overarching goal of increasing the tourist arrivals to over 2 million by the year end. The scheduled flights by Yemen Airlines will operate 3 times a week, utilizing a Boeing 737-800 aircraft with a seating capacity of 169 passengers. Flights from Fujian province in China will land directly at VIA. Yemen Airlines becomes the 5th Chinese airline service in the Maldives. Other Chinese airlines operating flights to the Maldives include Beijing Capital, Sichuan Airlines, Chongqing Airlines, and China Eastern. The state trading organization STO records a revenue of $227 million for the second quarter of this year, marking a 23% decrease compared to the first quarter. The latest financial data report released by STO showed that the decline primarily stems from a reduction in fuel prices within the Maldivian market driven by global fuel price fluctuations. As a result, the company's core fuel business was adversely affected, leading to a 16% decrease in profit to $33 million compared to the previous quarter. The report also showed that STO's operating profit for the second quarter was $13 million. The company also posted a pre-tax profit of $11 million and an after-tax net profit of $9.6 million, which is a 24% decrease compared to the prior quarter. STO is the largest multi-business entity in the Maldives engaged in trading fuel, pharmaceuticals, construction materials, as well as food and beverages. The Bank of Japan rises interest rates in a mostly unexpected move on Wednesday and unveiled a detailed plan to slow its massive bond buying, taking another step towards phasing out a decade of huge stimulus.
BOJ Governor Kazuo Ueda did not rule out another interest rate hike this year and signaled the bank's readiness to steadily hike borrowing costs to a level deemed neutral to the economy in coming years. The hawkish comments pushed the dollar below 151 yen for the first time since March, as markets awake to the reality that Japan was finally eyeing a full-fledged rate hike cycle. Japan's shift to tighter monetary policy also contrasts sharply with the broad swing to lower interest rates by other major economies, with the Federal Reserve expected to signal that it will cut rates in September as US price pressures moderate. When asked about the chance of another rate hike this year, Ueda told the news conference that if data shows economic conditions are on track and if such data accumulates, that they would of course take the next step. He added that by raising rates from very low levels and adjusting the degree of stimulus gradually, they can avoid the risk of having to make big adjustments in a short period of time. At the two-day meeting ending on Wednesday, the BOG's board decided to raise the overnight call rate target to 0.25% from 0 to 0.1% in a 7-2 vote. It also decided on quantitative tightening QT plan that would roughly halve monthly bond buying to 3 trillion yen, $19.6 billion US dollars from the current 6 trillion yen as of January-March 2026. Ueda said the BOG decided to rise rates not just because inflation was moving in line with its forecast, but risked overshooting its projection due partly to rising import costs from a weak yen. The BOG said its rate increase was based on its view that wage hikes were broadening and prodding firms to pass on higher labor costs through increases in service prices.
The Palestinian militant group says that the Hamas leader was assassinated in the early hours of the morning in Iran, drawing fears of wide escalation in a region shaken by Israel's war in Gaza and a worsening conflict in Lebanon.
Iran's Revolutionary Guards confirmed the death of Haniyeh hours after he attended a swearing-in ceremony for the country's new president and said it was investigating. According to Iranian media, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian said on Wednesday it will defend its territorial integrity, dignity, honor and pride and will make the terrorist occupiers regret their cowardly act of assassinating Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran. There was no immediate comment from Israel. The Israeli military said it was conducting a situational assessment but had not issued any new security guidelines for the civilians. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Washington would work to try to ease tensions, but said the United States would help defend Israel if it were attacked. Senior Hamas official Sami Abu Zuhri told Reuters that this assassination by the Israeli occupation is a grave escalation that aims to break the will of Hamas. The assassination of Haniyeh comes as Israel's campaign in Gaza approaches the end of its 10th month, with no signs of an end to a conflict that has shaken the Middle East and threatened to spiral into a wider regional conflict. Despite anger at Netanyahu's government from families of the Israeli hostages still held in Gaza and mounting international pressure for a ceasefire, talks brokered by Egypt and Qatar appear to have faltered. At the same time, the risk of a war between Israel and Hezbollah has grown. Haniyeh, normally based in Qatar, has been the face of the Palestinian group's international diplomacy as the war raged in Gaza. Appointed to the Hamas top job in 2017, he has moved between Turkey and Qatar's capital Doha, escaping the travel curbs of the blockaded Gaza Strip and enabling him to act as a negotiator in ceasefire talks or to talk to Hamas ally Iran. His death following the killing of his deputy Salah al-Awri earlier this year by Israel leaves Yahya al-Sinwar, the Hamas chief in the Gaza Strip, and Zahir Jabarin, the head of the group in the West Bank. Further ahead, Khaled Mishal, the group's former chief, has emerged as a potential replacement as the public face of Hamas, but it remains unclear how the succession will be handled. Since October 7th, Israel has launched a relentless ground and air offensive in the densely populated coastal enclave that has killed more than 39,400 people and left more than 2 million facing a severe humanitarian crisis.
Kaylee McKeown crushes would-be challenger Regan Smith in a triumphant defense of her 100 meters backstroke title at the Paris Games to join a parade of Australian icons with 3 individual Olympic gold medals.
McKeown touched the wall in an Olympic record time of 57.33 seconds, humbling Smith by 0.33 seconds as another American, Catherine Berkoff, took bronze at La Défense Arena. The 23-year-old athlete became Australia's first woman to win Olympic backstroke gold at Tokyo, and 3 years later, she is the first to go back-to-back. McKeown said that watching teammates take golds have proved a huge boost before her showdown with Smith.
Yeah, I think that rivalry is definitely not new, and it's just there, I guess. It's nothing really that we've put in place. I think Regan pushes me to the best of my abilities, and I do the same for her. We had a special moment after the race. I don't know if you guys saw, but you know, just thanking one another because I wouldn't be the athlete I am if it wasn't for her.
McKeown could become Australia's first Olympian with 4 individual gold medals if she can defend her 200-meter backstroke gold in Paris. She also has a chance in the 200 meters individual medley, in which she will go head-to-head with Canada's 17-year-old sensation Summer McIntosh. In the men's 4x200 meters freestyle relay, the quartet of James Guy, Tom Dean, Matthew Richards and Duncan Scott then kept the gold medal in British hands, beating the Americans by 1.35 seconds, with Australia taking the bronze. It came 3 years after the same British foursome beat a Russian team and Australia for the title in Tokyo.
Sealed inside a habitat in Texas and cut off from the outside world for over a year, Kelly Haston was the commander of the first of its kind simulation for NASA to prepare for future mission to Mars.
The 53-year-old biologist said that going to space would be an amazing opportunity. The overarching goal of the experiment, called CHAPI, Crew Health and Performance Exploration Analog Mission 1, is to better understand the impacts of isolation on the crew's performance and health. The project lasted 378 days and concluded in early July. After all, a round trip to Mars could easily take more than 2 years, factoring in the transit time of 6 to 9 months and the time NASA hopes to spend on the planet. Communications with the outside world were delayed by 20 minutes each way, simulating how long it takes a radio signal to travel between Earth and Mars. There were also some limits on sending and receiving videos to account for bandwidth restrictions. The 1,700 square foot, 160 square meter home included crew quarters, common areas, and even an area for crops like tomatoes and peppers. Called Mars Dune Alpha, the 3D printed habitat was installed inside a hangar at NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston. Simulated Mars walks took place in an exterior area that recreated the Martian environment with red soil and cliffs painted along the walls. For now, NASA is keeping the details of the crew's tasks under wraps to preserve the element of surprise for the next 2 iterations of the mission.
That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.
අලුන් වෙන්නකේ අලුන් වෙන්න නුවාණකම වෙච්ච කම ගවන්යාම එම්මේ ෆුර්තම එක නුවාණ බුණාණ මීහු
ඒකේ රොංගුරොංගු අලුමෙන්ගේ ගවම හිදුමෙක්කො දෙබාෆා අදි හිදුමතුග මිහාරොස් දෙමිතිබේ බේෆුණුගේ අදදු වරගින
අසුග කමෙක් කුරුමුගේ එම්මේ මුහිම්ම කමකී ෂෝ එන්නු යත
ක්ලබ් එක